Last week, FICO announced a brand new credit rating system called the FICO Resilience Index. Today, I'm going to tell you what it is and why you should be paying attention. Welcome back. My name is Andrew Shear, and this is Practical Personal Finance, the channel where you can learn something new about money every single week. As I mentioned in the intro, FICO recently announced a brand new credit rating system that they're calling the FICO Resilience Index. Now you might be wondering, what is this new rating I'm being assigned? How's it going to be calculated? And how will it affect me? Well, good news. I'm about to answer all of those questions. But before I do, you know I gotta remind you to smash that like button, and while you're at it, subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Now, if you would prefer a quick overview of what the FICO Resilience Index is, rather than an in-depth look, I posted a video yesterday titled "What is the FICO Resilience Index?" in which I give a 60-second explanation. I'll leave a link to that video in the description. But for those of you who have already seen that video or just want to go more in-depth, keep watching. First, let's talk about what this FICO Resilience Index is and also what it is not. At its core, the FICO Resilience Index is a new rating you will be assigned based on your credit history. It is designed to help lenders make decisions about who to loan money or extend credit to, and on what terms, just like a credit score. But there is one very important difference. The credit score is generally designed to ignore external factors like a recession or a regional economic downturn. The Resilience Index rating, on the other hand, is going to be calculated in a way that will indicate how well you'll be able to weather such external factors and continue making payments toward your debt obligations. It will help lenders understand how resilient you are to those events outside of your control. I want you to take note of how I'm using the word rating to describe it rather than score. There are two reasons for this. First is that the FICO Resilience Index is not a new credit score. Your FICO score will not be replaced by this new rating. The second reason is that most times the word score implies the idea that a higher number is better. Think of video games or sports aside from golf. You want to get the highest number to win. With the FICO Resilience Index, the lowest number is actually the best possible outcome, and therefore, the term rating is more applicable. The lowest rating you can achieve is a rating of 1. The highest rating you can get is 99. The higher your rating, the more sensitive you are to external factors like a recession or regional economic downturn. Obviously, the less sensitive you are financially to external factors, the safer bet you'll be to pay back your debts if something happens. And that makes you more attractive to lenders. On that scale of 1 to 99, there are 4 different categories you can fall into. The first is from 1 to 44, which is considered more resilient. Next is 45 to 59, which is considered moderate. Then there's 60 to 69, which is considered sensitive. And finally, there is 70 to 99, which is considered very sensitive to external economic factors. Next, let's talk about how this Resilience Index is going to be calculated. It is very similar to the methods used to calculate your FICO score. There is not really any new information that's being used here. FICO is just using the same credit reports from 3 credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. What's different is how they're analyzing the information contained within the credit reports and what weight they're giving different factors from the reports. FICO has not yet revealed exactly how the information is weighted, like with the FICO score, but they have provided some guidance, and it makes good sense. FICO tells us the best ratings will be assigned to people with more experience managing credit, lower total revolving balances, fewer active accounts, and fewer credit inquiries in the last 12 months. Let's break those out and look at them one by one from a lender's perspective. First is more experience managing credit. If you have a long credit history, it's more likely that you'll make your monthly payments, since you have a long track record of doing so. Those with longer credit histories also tend to be older, and that's important for 2 reasons. First, those of us who are older have more experience managing our money. Second, older borrowers are less likely to be affected financially during an economic crisis. Both of those facts make more experience managing credit a resilient trait. Second is lower total revolving balances. Lenders figure that if you're racking up your credit card usage every month, you're more likely to not be able to pay if you suffer a job loss and your paycheck doesn't come through. Many people buy things on their credit cards and figure out how to pay for it later. If you keep a low revolving balance, that signals to lenders that you're only purchasing what you could pay for now and are therefore more resilient. Third is fewer active accounts. This one is similar to the lower revolving balances. If you have a dozen credit cards with balances on each and suddenly lose your income, there's a better chance of you missing a payment than if you had just a single credit card to worry about. Fewer active accounts equals less chance of missed payments. Fourth is fewer credit inquiries in the last year. This one combines just about everything from the first three. If you've had several credit inquiries in the past year, you're more likely to be young with a short credit history than old with a long credit history. You're more likely to be carrying higher revolving balances on your credit cards than to be carrying low balances. And finally, more inquiries means more active accounts. Fewer is better from a lender's perspective in an economic downturn. Other factors like payment history, credit mix, and total debt still probably play a role in your Resilience Index rating, but it's definitely a less prominent role than they play in determining your FICO score. Now that you know what the new Resilience Index is and what information is being used to calculate it, it's time to answer the most important question. Should you care about it? The short answer is yes, a little, but not as much as your FICO score. When you go to take out a loan in the future, what lenders are going to do is look at your FICO score first. If you have an excellent FICO score, perhaps above 740, you'll probably get approved just like you would now. If you have a low FICO score, under 580, you'll probably still have difficulty accessing credit with favorable terms, just like you would now. People in the extremes are not going to see too much change, and the Resilience Index is not going to greatly affect either of those situations. The middle area, with scores that are considered fair or good between 580 and 740, is where the Resilience Index is going to see the most use. If your FICO score is in that middle range, lenders will look at your FICO score first, and then they'll look at your FICO Resilience Index to help them understand whether or not you're a good candidate to extend credit to. If you have a fair credit score, but a great resilience rating, you could find approval where you would not have found it previously. The same is true the other way around. If you have a good credit score, but a poor resilience rating, you could get denied for credit that you might have been approved for in the past. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how quickly lenders will adopt the use of the Resilience Index. It's certainly no coincidence that FICO is introducing it now, when we're in the middle of one of the biggest economic downturns in history. In my opinion, if you have a credit score between 580 and 740, you should start keeping an eye on the factors I discussed earlier, at least a few months before looking to secure any new credit. Your lender of choice may factor your new rating into their decision, and it could make or break your application. What do you think about the new FICO Resilience Index? Is it good or bad for consumers like you and me? How about for lenders? Let me know in the comments. If you learned something new, please consider supporting my channel by becoming a subscriber, and remember to hit that like button. Thanks for watching. I'm Andrew Scheer, and I'll see you next time.